So we are on the eve of earnings report for Beyond Meat stock. And this is very exciting times. Everyone's anticipating maybe some positive news when it comes to the earnings. So the way it will work is today after market close, we'll get their earnings report. So we'll get information on the earnings and the revenue. And then tomorrow on Tuesday is when they'll have an earnings call. And I think during the earnings call is when majority of the action will take place. That's when the stock could explode if we get some massive, massive good news. And in this video, I'm going to show you that Beyond actually printed a buy signal on the 45-minute chart for the first time since before that massive rally. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to do some technical analysis. I'll give you some solid price targets. And I found some really interesting information that I will share with you in this video. So please do me a favor, watch this video till the very, very end. And please just take a quick second to gently tap that like button at any point in the video. Just please hit that like button. That really helps out a lot. If you're invested in the stock and you want more eyeballs on this information, the best way you can help yourself, also help me, is hitting that like button, because then that tells the YouTube algorithm to show it in front of more people. Let's start with the technical analysis. So when we go to the 45-minute chart right here, and I turn on my super trend, check this out. So we had a buy signal on the 45-minute chart way back in October 17th. And that's when I was trading at like around 60 cents. After that buy signal, we had this massive, massive explosion, this massive rally. And a lot of this was due to hype regarding like partnership information. And then we had the sell signal, this massive drop. And right now for the past like couple of weeks, it's been like consolidating below this 50-day moving average. And again, for the first time since this area right here, we have a buy signal again on the 45-minute chart right here, boom. So that to me is a very positive sign, but it's not over yet. So the super trend is very helpful, but what we really need to see is the price close above this 50-day moving average. We have to see that. If the price doesn't clearly trade above the 50-day moving average, then we could be in this consolidation phase. But again, I think there's just way too much positive news. Everything is dependent on the earnings report and the earnings call. In the last video I made about Beyond stock, I told you like everything is dependent on that earnings call. We need to hear some great information about partnership, which I'll dig into later in this video, but we need to hear something solid. We need to hear like some different partnership information or something that we can't even think of that will just make this stock skyrocket. But getting this buy signal on the 45-minute chart for the first time since the last rally is a good sign. We just need like 2 or 3 more good signs. So when we take a look at the short float information for Beyond Meat, it's at 13% currently, which is still very high. It's not as crazy as like 63%, but I'll explain what exactly happened there. So currently it's at 13%. Like I tell you, anything above 10% is incredibly high. And we have many examples of that on this channel where I find stocks over like 10% short float and it's looking good on the technicals, and boom, it like explodes whenever there is a chance of a short squeeze. So what actually happened, if you take a look right here, short interest, like where I'm highlighting right here. So as you can see, the short interest actually went up. It didn't go down. That means the shorts aren't covering. I don't know what they're thinking. Like at this point, if you're a short seller, it's not worth it to like think that this stock might go bankrupt, especially because take a look at this. Beyond Meat exchanged notes due in 2027, wiping out almost $1 billion of debt in exchange for 316 million shares. So their $1 billion worth of debt is wiped off. It's off their balance sheet, which is going to make their books look very desirable, way more desirable than before. But they did it in exchange for 316 million shares. So that's why you have this huge jump from 62, see shares float right here, shares float. So take a look at the shares float right here. So that's why you have this jump from 62 million to 383 million. So that's why you have this massive jump in shares available, which decreased the short float percentage, but the short interest is still going up. Like when it was at 43.63, we had a short interest of around like 40 million short interest. The short interest actually went up by another 11 million. So 11 million more shares have been shorted at around this price range, like say maybe possibly around like between $2 or $3. So you have to think, if the stock starts to trade above $2 or $3, these people are going to be in massive, massive loss. And when you short, like you have to pay interest on those shares. It's not the same as going long. When you go long, you just own the shares, boom, you're good. You don't have to pay any additional fee. But when you short a stock, you have to pay like a fee on those shares. So if the stock starts to rally above like $3, so that's the price point we really want to look out for. Actually, even below that, like if it starts to trade above this 200-day moving average on the 45-minute chart and it's clearly above this price, it also fills this little gap right here that you can see. If it's above 180, let's say $2 to be sure, if it's trading above $2, it is going to start exploding. And all these short sellers have to start covering their position because on top of them being negative, they have to pay interest. They have to pay a borrowing fee for borrowing those shares and selling them short. And if they can't put up additional collateral to maintain their short position, they have to cover their shorts. They're forced to cover their shorts. And that's what causes the short squeeze. Like if you're long a stock and it goes all the way down like 90%, you don't have to do anything. You can just like forget about it. But if you're shorting a stock and if the trade goes the other way, then you have to put up collateral or you have to cover your position. You have to buy it back at a higher price, which is what causes the short squeeze. So that's something exciting, in my opinion, to look forward to because the chart is starting to look pretty good. Again, everything's contingent on that earnings call. We just need some good news to come in. And some of the good news that we already have are Beyond Meat Partner expands with over 20 retailers and restaurants in the last 30 days. So while all this was going on, we had this massive rally and the huge drop in the background, they have been expanding partnership. And this is a quick overview of all the different partnerships that Beyond Meat has been working with. So this is good. But this is just information that us retailers are like digging up online. On the earnings call, we need Beyond Meat to tell us exactly how this partnership would positively affect their revenue. And we need something else, like something like we need to hear something like, oh, when you go to Starbucks, you'll have the option to buy like Beyond Meat empanadas or some shit. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but we need something. We need some insane news to come out like that. We need some really good, like out of the box news to come out that we probably can't really think of right now during the earnings call. And if that happens, the stock is set to explode. So partnership information right here. And then something else that I didn't know, I just found out while doing this research today. So again, if you made it this far in the video, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's try to get to 200 likes, Just right now, as I'm speaking, for listening to the video, just open up the app and just hit that like button. If you're watching on the computer, just, move your cursor over the like button, just tap it gently. Please give this video a like. Let's try to get to 200 likes. So another thing I want to show you that I just found out today is that there's an investment company called Roundhill Investment, which is pretty much like a meme stock ETF. Their ticker is MEME, and they added Beyond Meat to their ETF. And I didn't know this existed. This is like brand new. They IPO'd on October 25th. So this is like super brand new. They just IPO'd like less than a month ago. So you can go take a look at this stock on your own. But what I found really fascinating is that, look at this. So I did some more research on Grok and check this out. So Beyond Meat has been added to the Roundhill Meme Stock ETF meme, MEME. So you can go take a look at that. And they bought almost 1 million shares of Beyond Meat. So they are buying some massive amount of Beyond Meat stock. At the peak, Beyond Meat became number one holding in this ETF. So what I'm thinking, like, this meme stock rally, like, for example, if you go just on Reddit and you type BYND in the search bar, you see like it's relentless. And this is all I've been seeing all weekend, just like relentless amount of stories and people like retailers just like buying the stock. And you cannot undermine this retail hype. And this is just like phase one. If the stock starts to move above like $2-3, there's going to be more retailers that come in, like people working in the office setting that just like gossip about like, oh, what's the hottest stock right now? They're going to just throw in like $1,000 just for the fun of it, just to gamble. Everyone likes to gamble nowadays. Look at how big like the prediction markets are. That's just pure gambling. So just from a pure gambling aspect, like we're early. If you're like getting it at this price, you're probably kind of early, because if it does start to go above like say its previous local high, like if it does start to go above like $7, there's going to be so much hype and euphoria. You're going to have people that have no business like trading stocks just going to like start throwing money and just as a gamble, just as a side bet. So there is a lot of potential. And since this like ETF, this MEME ETF is like so brand new, I promise you that they are going to get on CNBC. They are, if this Beyond Meat stock rally happens, this ETF is going to get on CNBC. They're going to get hyped themselves. And they're going to talk about how Beyond Meat is currently their number one holding in their ETFs. We had so much meme stock rally for the past 5 years since the GME days, like AMC, Carvana are the two that's coming up off the top of my head. Even Open Door. I don't know if you know about Open Door. So I brought you Open Door This is a little side detour because it's like really fascinating. You can go to my YouTube channel, search for Open Door, and see the first time I brought you the stock when I was trading at 71 cent, and look at this massive, massive rally since then. And if you want me to make an update on open stock, then just tell me in the comment section. If I get enough comments, then I'll make another update on open stock. But when I first made that video, it came up on my radar based on my criteria of high short interest and the technical analysis. So you can go watch that video if you find that information fascinating. But what happened since then is this meme stock euphoria that just pushed the stock from like 50 cents to high of $10. So 20x in like a matter of like 2 months. So that was all pure meme stock euphoria hype. And we're currently in this age of meme stock rally. We're currently in this weird stock market phase of just like retailers just pushing up stock just because they like it, just because, it's fun. It's a meme. It becomes a meme and people want to make a quick buck, or sometimes they don't even care. They just want to like join in on the hype. So we might see something like that happen with Beyond Stock, because if you just go to Reddit, the retail hype is relentless. Like every single notification I've been getting on Reddit, it's just about Beyond Stock. And a lot of them do find really good information, like the one that I just showed you about the partnership, but it's just like people YOLOing like a couple $1,000 and, just hyping everyone up. And this is just going to get so much more eyeballs as the stock price starts to move up. So to recap, we have some earnings report later today, but watch out for that earnings call. We need some like amazing information like this to be disclosed during the earnings call. That's the main thing we're looking for, but it does look really good on the chart. We got a buy signal on the 45-minute chart, and we just have to see the price trade above the 50-day moving average today. And then tomorrow, everything's depending on that earnings call. I brought you all the interesting information that I could find in this video, especially that meme stock ETF that was just launched like less than a couple of weeks ago. I didn't know existed. So watch out for that, because they could become a big factor in meme stock plays and meme stock rallies. So we'll keep investigating that more. If you made it this far in the video, then please, again, do me a solid, hit that like button. Let's try to get to at least 200 likes. I don't think that's asking for a lot. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I usually try to bring you undervalued stocks before they go on a massive rally. So you can go to my channel page and take a look at my track record. And you'll see, like, from the time I make the video, within like maybe 2 months was the longest we had to wait, the stock would rally like 150%. So you can go to my channel page and take a look at those videos. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.